All right, so if I have it, if I have the camera and it's reading at f9 at 4th of a second, and if I roll the bar, here's f9. Okay, now I'm shooting at 1/80th of a second. My shutter speed is going down, and it will go as fast as I can open it. See, 3.5 is the maximum aperture for this lens. So now I can shoot using 1200 ISO at 250th of a second. And now my image is properly exposed because of the fact that I've raised the ISO, and I have the ability to use 250th of a second indoors now without a flash. So that's the range we want to work in, between low 1, which is 100, and 1250. Anything beyond that, you start getting into the noise problem.
All right, and so tell me how you went into that mode again.
Oh,
right now you're set on shutter.
Shutter priority.
Okay.
So what that does for you is you set the shutter speed, and it tells you whether it can set the ISO. I'm sorry, the f-stop.
So here's the shutter speed.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I was to shoot right now and I wanted
right
to
here's
shoot,
the shutter speed, right over here, and then this is the f-stop, and it's making the adjustment.
Yeah, you are making the adjustment on the shutter speed. It's making the adjustment on the aperture.
And if it can't,
it will say low or high. Like you could, if you wanted to shoot this at 2 seconds of an exposure, it doesn't have an aperture high enough to do it. Which means that it can't make the small.
So the camera's going to tell you that
whether you can or can't do it.
Right.
In the same instance, if you try to make it too fast, like 640th of a second, it'll tell you that it can't do it because it's too low.
Okay.
The exact opposite happens when you switch it over to aperture priority.
All right.
Okay. Aperture priority is what most people like to use when they're starting out, because it really is handy, because you can't set the camera to something it can't use, because the shutter speed is variable regardless. So this is okay. So now I'm shooting at 3.5. It tells me what shutter speed I can use, right?
Right.
But now as I adjust front knob this time.
Oh, it's the front button for the aperture.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I adjust that, my shutter speed is going to go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. But there is.
And it's on the left. That's your shutter speed on the left.
Yes, and it's adjusting your shutter speed now while you are adjusting the aperture. What's nice is that you just want to make sure that you have everything nice and wide open. You can set your aperture, and regardless of where it is, it's going to do the exposures for 3.5 f-stop. So
that's why most people like to shoot in aperture priority.
Right, because you can't have it won't tell you no. You know. It won't say, no, can't do it. Can't do it, can't do it. So, and most guys like that. So,